Okay, folks, so we have two special guests, or one special guest, however many you want to count, with us right now. Please say hello to the Southern Lady and the Naval Signalman.
Good evening.
How are you folks doing tonight?
Oh, we're doing just peachy.
Well, that's good.
How are you doing?
Good.
Good. So, what's new in the world?
Oh, nothing much. Coronavirus this, COVID-19 that, end of the world crisis. You know how it goes.
Yes. Yes, I do. Locked down, shut in, can't go anywhere, can't do anything. You know how that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we could take a walk. We did take a walk.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, got out and got a little bit of fresh air, and now Grandpa's laying here watching a classic Blackhawks game.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So what's new with you?
Not much. Just same, same old. Making videos. Gonna do some gaming videos pretty soon, and some
Good.
some food reviews. I'm gonna review Wendy's Junior Burger, and I'm gonna review Monsters Incorporated.
Wow, expanding your horizons here, huh?
Yeah. Guess what? So I actually ordered some new Lego Dimension kits in the mail. They finally came today.
Ooh, interesting.
Yep.
Interesting.
But yeah,
So?
I heard on the news that what was it? I heard on the news that this one nurse was talking about they were like running out of PCE and
No, PPE.
oh, what is
That's
that?
That's supplies.
Oh,
That's like the gowns and the masks and the...
and they gave her a rain poncho.
Yes. Oh, I saw a real interesting one on Facebook where all of the workers in this one area were putting garbage bags on because they had totally run out of gowns.
Garbage bags?
Garbage bags. Isn't that something?
You gotta be kidding me.
Yep. The great big black, like lawn bags. You know, they were making use out of them. I don't know how safe they were, but anyway.
Yeah.
So
honestly, it's just become ridiculous to a point where I see people coming in and out, and I've been live for almost about an hour, almost about an hour. And in the beginning, I was discussing how we need to come together as a community and more or less as a species, that people need to stop coming out and buying things that aren't a necessity, like lawn furniture, patio furniture, and things of that nature.
Exactly. No, that's ridiculous. I mean, they're telling you to stay in. Why would you go just to like Costco and buy lawn furniture when you're being told to stay in? You know, doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, a lot of things from time to time. People have a funny way of thinking what is essential and what not is essential.
Exactly.
Do you think that people will get over this as time goes by, or
it's going to take a long time? It's going to take a long time to get back to where we were kind of there. You know, it's just I think people are going to be afraid for a long time. I don't think people are going to be shaking hands and hugging and, doing as we did before. I think they're going to be cautious because the World Health Organization has already told us that it's going to take a long time for this to, get over. Grandpa says he doesn't think we'll ever be able to eradicate it. So
what do you have
we'll
to say
see.
To those?
But
what would you have to say to those who are either listening now or maybe a couple days from now? What would you have to say to those, to people, as far as like your advice and your expertise? What would you say to them?
Well, I'm not an expert on it, but my advice, I think we should obey the rules where the governors are saying stay in, don't go unnecessarily running around. Go to the grocery store and get your essentials and get home. Don't linger. Don't go to places like Walmart and Target and socialize in the store. And they're congregating, which is a big no-no. Mm-hmm. Oh, right. Did you happen to hear that?
No, Grandpa sounds a little... You guys don't mind.
He is.
You guys don't mind.
What?
I don't know, like... You know we're live, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, anyway, I'll tell you what he said. There were 17 people sitting on curbside someplace in California, and they were visitors. And I don't know where they were visiting from, but because they were all out socializing and having a good time, the police came along and fined each one of them $1,000.
It's...
So if you're that silly, ignorant, to not pay attention to what you're being told in a health crisis like this, then you're going to pay the consequences.
Just like those idiots who went on spring break.
Exactly. What was that? That was about 1,000 of them, wasn't it? Or more. So.
How do you...
Yes.
How do you feel about recent things coming out of Springfield, some places like Springfield and Vermont, where they're actually cordoning off places and stores such as Costco and Walmart, where people can't buy the things that they used to, like clothing and books and arts and crafts?
I think it's wonderful. It's structuring everything for people. And I think right now people kind of need that to let them know where to go and what to get, and don't linger.
Do you think that this should be done everywhere, or only in places where it's a high amount of cases?
I'm not sure. Like New York, I know they're doing it in a lot of areas, but they're also telling people, stay off the streets. That's a definite hot spot. California blocked off a bunch of roads. We're humans. We have to be taught how to do things, and we've never, in our generation right now, we have not ever experienced anything like this. So we have to be shown how to do things. And it sometimes, like the old saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And it's sometimes really hard for people to understand what we should be doing, what the government is telling us to do. But, I'm sure we'll make it through this. I'm sure we'll be fine in the end. And, we'll just have to take it day by day.
And that's a good way to put it. How do you feel about the way our government is handling this? Now, before I let you go into that, I do wish to say at this moment that our president/commander-in-chief has flip-flopped from time to time over the course of the past few weeks, saying things. In the beginning, he said that this is a great catastrophe. Then he said that we'll have people back in churches and congregating by today. Obviously, and then going back and forth to saying it's now a great catastrophe. Now, as of today, which is when our president said that we'd all be back and congregating, you now have people parking in church parking lots, and then officers fining and ticketing them. Do you think our government should stop for the moment and take a step back, and even though this is an ongoing situation, they should at least look at what is going on in the moment?
Well, yes, I think they should definitely act on what is going on in the moment. But if people are congregating in a church parking lot and not going in the building, that's one thing. But if they're going in the building and being defiant, then yes, I think they should pay the consequences, and in which a lot of people are paying the consequences because they're all getting sick. So, which takes us back to square one, where it is, if you would have paid attention and abided by the rules to begin with, we wouldn't have the sickness still going on. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. There was a church in Texas today that had services, and everybody was inside the church celebrating Easter. And
Really?
I guarantee, oh yes, and I guarantee you there will be sickness out of that, because people can't do what they're asked to do. They're not going to let anybody come in and tell them what to do, and especially the government, because now you have the church and state, and it has really nothing to do with church and state, but those people in that church apparently think that it does. So I just think that the way things are being handled right now, if they would let some more of the health people, the medical people come on and kind of talk and tell us what's going on in layman's terms and not get us all riled up, I think it would be a whole lot better than the president getting on there and saying, well, I think we're going to set this date where we're going to let everybody go back to work, or this date where we're going to let everybody go back to school. If he would just let the medical people tell us what is going on. He's not a doctor. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's not a doctor, and I don't think he should be up there telling us all that we need to know about what's going on with this virus. He can advise us on other things. He can get up there and talk about Wall Street. He could get up there and talk about, what's going on overseas, or, something like that, but not medicine. I think we need to hear from the medical people. but I'm sure that's never going to happen, right?
Probably not.
He's always going to talk. He's always going to put his 2 cents in there. So I don't know. I hope I answered your question.
Hey, thank you very much for coming on.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Yes.
How, if at all, did you guys celebrate Easter today?
We had lasagna and a nice salad, and you know, just kind of took it easy. Grandpa got out there and cut the lawn, and we took a walk, talked to some neighbors, and yeah, we were doing all right. We missed our family. We missed our grandkids, but you know, in this time, we'll make up for it, I'm sure.
Hopefully so, and I would like to think that your grandkids miss you very much as well.
Ah, yes. I certainly hope so.
Yeah.
Yes, it's been too long already, so you know, we'll make up for it.
And just it's been lovely talking to you. I'd like to know if we could ask your husband if he has anything to share with us at the moment.
Sure. Hold on one second. Grandpa.
Yeah. Who is it? Well, this is... Hello?
Hello.
What's up?
Not much. You are technically live right now, and one person is watching.
Okay.
I heard
what?
Amma recreated some of what you said, but what do you have to personally say on this matter, as far as everything going on? As far as everything going on in the world.
Well, I think 90% of it is too many people are listening to news media. The news media anymore, instead of, let me put it in this perspective. I'm watching 2010 Philadelphia Flyers versus the Blackhawks, and they're in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And they won the Stanley Cup that year. But just because they won it, I still enjoy watching them because this is the old team. They're tough, they're aggressive, and they do a good job playing hockey. And they bring something good to television and Chicago, and I enjoy sitting here watching it. Now, you turn the news on, and it's always something bad. And what they should be doing is instead of focusing on all the horrible things like people dying, people sick, Trump ain't doing this and Trump should be doing that, instead of finding what is good in this situation. Let's take, for instance, I'll tell you what Amma found out today. She was apparently it was on the internet on her smartphone because of the lack of activity on Lake Michigan. There's no boating. Apparently, all the only boating is the barges or the big ships that's coming in. Maybe nobody's out bothering. Nobody's messing up. Nobody's doing nothing. Amma said that you can see the shipwrecks on the bottom of Lake Michigan. The water is so clear. So, to me, that was rather enlightening in all this devastation and terrible things that the news media says is happening all over the world, because we learned somewhat of a lesson to stay at home. Lake Michigan is absolutely gorgeous. So I don't pay a lot of attention to what's going on. We still, even though we're committed to stay home for the most part, we still carry on normal, to me, normal lives. Again, it's all about everybody's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The news media, it keeps going. So that's my personal observation, and I think if more people look on the positive side, maybe things would be better. Other than that, that's about it.
I hope so too, and I hope that whether it be a few months from now or even, and I hate to say this, but probably into the next year, that this will be done and over with, and we can go back.
I don't know. It may be longer than that. This one medical official said today we could have this throughout our lives. We don't know that. Just like, okay, let's take for instance the flu. The flu comes and goes every year, and it kills a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. But
if I was to lay around here and think about the 60,000 people that died in 2017 and 18, I'd probably have a miserable life. I can't think about that. I got to look at the sun's going to come up tomorrow. And that's the way I look at life. I got 5 grandchildren who's always been there for the most part here recently, not so much recently because of what's been going on, but I got 5 wonderful, healthy grandkids. I got a wonderful son, and I look forward to all the good things in life that's not only that I look forward to, but what we've been blessed with. So I'll give you another, for instance. I don't care what people land up. Let's take, for instance, lottery. Somebody somewhere wins $100 million in the lottery. And when they finally file to get their money, they find out they have to pay the government 33% of that money. And I'll guarantee you there'll be somebody to complain that even though they had $300 million, that they have to give so many $1 million to the government for taxes. So it doesn't matter. It's basic that people, instead of counting their blessings, as they say, they always have something to complain about. Yeah. And especially here in America.
But no, like I was saying, if this, when this is all said and done, whether it be a few months from now or even a few years from now, and if this is still within our lifetime, I at least hope that things calm down enough to where we can get back to at least some level of normality. As of now, we're probably not going to see that until things return to normal, which means the stores will open again and people can go back to regular shopping. That probably will not happen for a few months at least. But for the
maybe even longer. There's going to be businesses that are going to be permanently closed. There was a crawler on CNN last week, I noticed, it said that some oil companies will go out of business.
And all of this because of one person in China was messing around with a bat. Can you believe it?
Well, we don't. No. See, I don't know where you got your information from, but we don't know that. We don't know that. And in fact, the so-called professionals really don't know, how this all started or what the conditions were. And I think they got it nailed down that it was in China. They say, though, that, well, I haven't heard this on the news or whatever, but one of the guys I was talking to the other day, he said that China's upset with Trump because of the tariffs he put on that country, and they want to destroy the United States economy. And I could see that,
So could a lot of
others. But then that's the so-called conspiracy theory. Yeah.
Do, 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 do.
Okay, anyway.
Well, I wish to thank you both for coming on the show and joining me and providing more and giving more of a human touch to what's going on right now, to see into the other side of people's lives and how this is affecting them.
Well, thank you for having us.
You're very welcome. I heard a while ago from the missus that your program's coming on pretty soon.
Yeah, I kind of turned it off for a reason, went back to the Blackhawks. Anyway. So I guess that draws us to a conclusion then till the next time.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you very much. You two have a blissful evening and a happy rest of your Easter.
Thank you. You too.
Mm-hmm. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Country Girl and Navy Signalman. You'll probably be hearing this and listening to this again as I produce a video on highlights, which will bump everything up by a few days. But in the meantime, I guess right now everybody's busy, or why not? If anyone listening would like to add their own 2 cents, the comment bar is always open. If you wish to join me on a live stream, I have Skype, Xbox, the Xbox app on my computer, and Google Hangouts. Don't hesitate to contact me, and thank you all for listening. Wish you all a wonderful evening and a blessed Easter. Thank you.